declare that meeting's open on the 20th of November 2024. In the event of an emergency, the building may be evacuated. You'll be required to evacuate the building by the rear entrance and gather in the breezeway between the library and the art gallery buildings. This is the Council's designated emergency muster point. Under no circumstances is anybody permitted to re-enter the building until all clear is given and the area is deemed safe by authorised personnel. In the event of evacuation, a member of Council staff will assist any persons present with a disability to vacate the building. Item 1.1, apologies of absence. Mr. CEO, do we have any?
None tonight. We have Councillor Greenhouse on the television, so to speak. And Councillor Kinghorn for later. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor McDonald and Councillor Powell. Thank you. Show of hands, all four. Carried. Item 1.2, live streaming and recording. This council meeting is being live streamed and recorded. By speaking at the council meeting, you agree to be live streamed and recorded. Please ensure that if and when you speak to the council meeting, that you ensure that you are respectful to others and the use of appropriate language at all times. Orange Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks, gestures made during the course of the council meeting. A recording of this council meeting will be made available for administration purposes. Item 1.3, acknowledgement of country. I would like to acknowledge the Wiradjuri people who are the traditional custodians of the land. I would like to pay my respects to elders both past, present of the Wiradjuri nation and extend respect to other Aboriginal Australians here with us today and also any other person who is here with us today. Item 1.4, declarations of interest. Does any council wish to declare any conflicts of interest in any matter for consideration at the council meeting? Yes, Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to declare a significant non-pecuniary interest in item 5.14, the social impact funding grant, as I am a member of one of the groups that has applied for a donation. I understand that they're dealing with the recommendations to deal with seriatim. If that's the case, I will only leave that item. Otherwise, if it's as a whole, I'll leave for the whole motion.
No, it's in seriatim, so thank you for that. Any others? Councillor Mallard.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, same declaration, significant non-pecuniary interest, because I'm also a member of Domestic Abuse Prevention Orange and have been involved in planning the activities that are the subject of funding it. I also won't pay for that item, for that application.
You're staying in the room or leaving?
No, leaving.
Thank you very much. Councillor Ruddy.
Same as the other two, a significant non-pecuniary interest, and I'll leave for the domestic prevention one alone.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Peterson.
Same item. I'm a volunteer member of the Western PTSD support group, so exclude myself from deliberations and come back for the other.
Councillor Greenhouse. I'll go to the CEO. You have something to declare, Mr. CEO?
I do, and I'm just passing on Councillor Kinghorn's declaration on item 5.6, 277 Cargo Road, as her husband, Greg, who does work for the applicant. I'd like to declare myself on item 5.13, White Tie Ball, as I'm now a board member of Housing Plus, and I'll leave the room. That would be significant but non-pecuniary.
Just with regard to myself, item 5.14, it's a less than significant non-pecuniary interest, as I know the applicant. I have no involvement in this organisation or interest in it, but I just thought I would declare that for transparency. Are there any others? There being none, we'll move on to open forum. The council meeting will now adjourn for the conduct of the open forum. Speaking on items, we'll go to item 5.6, planning proposal 277 Cargo Road. Mr. Greg Toner. Come forward, please, sir, to the... Before you start, Mr. Toner, I'd just like to introduce you to the councillors around the room. We have Councillor Whitten, Councillor McDonald, Councillor Powell, Councillor Mallard, Councillor Ruddy at the end there, Councillor Steadman, Councillor Judge and Councillor Peterson. And online we have Councillor Greenhalgh. You're free to go. You have 5
Thank
minutes.
you. Yeah, I'd just like to speak to Council regarding this development to the west of Orange, to the west of Whitten Place, especially regarding the road layout of the subdivision itself. I've downloaded the maps and everything and regarding the intersection with Cargo Road. Have no problem with that at all. It's going to be a major intersection and it's going to carry a fair bit of traffic. I think it's a bit undercooked or underdone as far as an intersection out onto a major road like Cargo Road goes, but there are some passing lanes there, the same as which exist now on the Whitten Place intersection with Cargo Road. But I think it's going to carry a lot more traffic. So council might want to have another look at that by way of provision of a roundabout there to ease the traffic. The main concern is the extension of Bowman Avenue through the existing part of Bowman Avenue. Bowman Avenue itself is an 18-metre wide road, whereas all the other major roads within this subdivision are 20 metres wide. 18-metre wide roads were only put in for internal traffic, not major traffic flow. And the subdivision, the road pattern has been designed so that all the majority of the roads within the subdivision filter down onto Bowman Avenue and run through to the other 18-metre wide section of Bowman Avenue just past where a 99-room nursing home has just been approved last month. So I've spoken to David Fenton from the Fenelor Group who's developing this land only as recently as this morning regarding the road design and discussed with him the opportunity that may be there to reduce the size of the width of the road just before it comes east towards the recently approved aged person's care home. So there's 99 beds in that, and that's got parking provisions for 43 cars. So the potential of the Bowman Avenue hookup down through to Ploughman's Lane is potentially something like nearly 300 cars. And an 18-metre road really isn't designed to carry that many cars. A 20-metre road is, but an 18-metre road isn't. So what I'm recommending is that the width of the road just before it comes to the approved nursing home, consideration might be given to reduce the width of that to 9 metres and have it so it caters for emergency vehicles, ingress and egress, and pedestrians and cyclists. So in actual fact, it would reduce the through traffic going down Bowman Avenue and redirect the majority of the traffic up the 20-metre roads onto the new intersection with Cargo Road. So there is another roadway. So if you look at this plan on the proposed subdivision map, this is the Bowman Avenue part here, which goes through to the existing subdivisions down here all through the Wentworth estate. And it extends right up here to the new intersection with Cargo Road. So the majority of the traffic is going to go out onto Cargo Road for convenience of people. But the shortcut through here, or the so-called shortcut to places like Wentworth Golf Club and things like that, is going to generate traffic which really isn't warranted. So the safeguard in it is if it's reduced in size just towards the boundary of the new nursing home there, that emergency vehicles such as bushfire fighting brigades, ambulances and such like, and cars can go through there, but it would be a reduced width. So it'd save all the traffic going down through Whitten Place, Bowman Avenue and all those streets in that area of town that's covered by the Wentworth estate. That's just a suggestion. And I, as I said, and I'll reiterate it, David Fenton, the developer, is in favour of that. So it seems to be a good choice to limit traffic going through an existing well-established subdivision area.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Can I? Do you have anything else to say?
No, that's about it.
Okay. It's all right. I was just going to ask for an extension, but if you're finished, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And my apologies to Deputy Mayor Greenhalgh. I referred you as councillor, so I do apologise, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
We go to the next speaker is Mr. Darren Marjoram, speaking on behalf of the Orange Hockey Association regarding item 5.9, and that's the Hockey Centre renovation loan guarantee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Esteemed councillors, distinguished council staff, CEO and respected members of the public. Hear me okay? Yeah?
Yeah, it's all good.
So congratulations to all new and returning councillors, and thanks to your commitment to our vibrant city. We're proud of the city and the community Orange has become and is becoming. This project will help to contribute to this progress. A brief status on the project. The revitalisation of the Smith hockey field was not to FIH specification and was accident prone because the fence was too close to the playing surface. It's going to be brought up to a contemporary, efficient and green or net zero synthetic turf system. Our members, of which number around 1,000, are grateful to and thank Orange City Council for pledging the much needed 200K to assist substantially with the project. We've raised over 700K ourselves and also secured 300K from New South Wales Government. We have secured conditional approval for a loan for the balance on the project, but this loan is conditional on Orange City Council agreeing to guarantee that loan. We're still hopeful to have the project completed before the start of 2025 competition, and so far great progress has been made. Many members volunteering their time, rolling up their sleeves to lend a hand. Approximately 8 tonne of weld mesh fence has been removed and repurposed. 55 tonne of the top layer and sand has been repurposed, and about 80 tonne of the concrete gutters have been taken away, crushed and repurposed as backfill. Demolition is all but complete, and we've avoided about 143 tonnes of landfill. The new surface, Paris GT Zero surface, for starters, the older technology synthetic surfaces use less water than natural grass fields, but this surface is even better. The Federation of International Hockey were recently awarded in October the Climate Action Award by the International Olympic Committee for the Paris GT systems that's we're going to be installing in Orange. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics used 60% less water than the London 2012 Olympics, and the Paris Olympics improved on that number again, and it's the world's first carbon zero turf. This is mostly due to the green technology resin, where 80% of ethanol that's refined into ethylene is sourced from sugarcane mulch. Each pitch saves 73 tonne of CO2 per pitch. So to sum up, we've this project is benefiting enthusiasts, hockey enthusiasts. It also helps our community fabric, attracts tourism, and helps local businesses. So I'm hoping, or our members are hoping, that Orange City Council can guarantee the loan and also approve that the CEO be authorised to sign any relevant documents. And thanks to Scott who put this all the detailed papers together for it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Marjoram. The next speaker is with regards to item 5.13, event sponsorship application, and we'll have Mr. Tim Mortimer from Mazzoli Enterprises, and he'll be speaking on a night in Nashville. Thank you, Mr. Mortimer.
Good to go. Thank you. Hey, Tim. So my name is Tim Mortimer. I'm an Orange local. I live here most of my life. Been away a couple of years for some things. Always working on something. Always doing something. Love the community, etc. I do know some of you. A lot of you I don't either. So I thought it was right just to give you a bit of background as to how I, most likely, like a lot of you, think. Look at the Orange community and its growth and local businesses and such. So I'm here to present an opportunity. Yes, I've submitted the application for funding. I've read the minutes and I'm aware of the potential outcome, and I'll just let you know I'm okay with that. For me, I'm here to talk about something bigger. I'm here to highlight the potential of something truly special for Orange. I created a night in Nashville during the COVID period, purely out of wanting to get the community together after months, years of homeschooling and not seeing our friends. I invested in it, and as a result, it's a significant event. I'll go into some numbers in a second. It's grown into an event that people are lining up for and genuinely excited about. Its unique, vibrant experience goes beyond the region's usual food and wine offerings, and although it can work in collab with food and wine as well, it's a celebration of culture, music and community, an event that locals can take pride in and that visitors will travel for. As a little bit of proof of recent demand and its growth and a strong foundation that we've laid, the response to next year's event, 2025, even though I had to strip it back to one night, has been overwhelming. From a single Instagram post in June, I had 104 artists apply to perform. We can only accommodate 5. I had to turn away 99 artists, which I personally did because that's the standard of the event that we want to hold. Hopefully we can invite them back one day. These artists are eager to perform, connect and contribute to the success of this event. They were all ages, all talents and all over Australia. Some of them I couldn't afford, and hopefully we can in the future, with the ultimate goal bringing an American artist over for the event, which would draw a huge visitation crowd. This level of interest highlights the potential, just that demand alone. If we look out the window there and think about the live music potential venues we have out there, there's 6. Activate the McNamara Square and the Robertson Park here, you've got 8. Put a neon sign in front of one of those and the lights over the top, all of a sudden you've got Broadway in Orange. Other country towns don't have that capability with the way they're laid out. The demand for this year we're going to sell 1,500 tickets. It will sell out, no doubt about that, with the pace at which tickets are selling. And we anticipate 1,000 visitors in our 4th year. With attendance growing significantly, with visitor attendance growing significantly each year. We launched a couple of weeks ago and sold 800 tickets. 70% of those have come from outside the 2800 postcode, demonstrating its appeal as a major draw card for the region or event for New South Wales/Australia. With the right promotion and support, Orange could become Australia's Nashville for a weekend or 2, drawing crowds from across the country and showcasing our region in a whole new light, which then will have a flow-on effect. For example, go visit a vineyard, attend the festival that night. It will drive with council support, has the potential to be a decade-long festival. I have a vision for nothing less for this event anyway. Drive significant economic growth, a platform for artists to enhance the music scene, which I personal opinion, but I don't think it's great in Orange. Strengthens community and connection, something that I know you all deeply value, which is why you're here. The ask, I want Orange to be the permanent home of a night in Nashville. And right now I'm asking for a reason not to take it elsewhere, not immediately, but just to work with us, look at partnerships, help me develop this event to stay here. It is a private event. but without private initiative, it wouldn't exist. For me, it's about creating something meaningful for the community and sustainable, and it definitely has those foundations laid. To grow, however, it does need support. This is a chance for Orange Council to demonstrate leadership, vision and commitment to the community and opportunity. Together we can make it a landmark event for the region. I hope you can hear from all of this that I'm keen to hopefully work and develop this with council support.
Can I just hold you up there for a second and ask for an extension for Mr. Thank you, Councillor Whitten. You're right to continue.
Thank you. 1 minute. Specific requests. The specific request tonight is limited only to what I applied for, the grant. However, the venue that I'm operating in, I will work on this over the next 6 months. The Ag Pavilion, which desperately needs restoration. I went in there last year, paid for the venue to find out all the PowerPoints have been stripped, or most of them, sorry. And then other little concerns along there. I'm happy to clean the slate and move forward. And again, it needs PowerPoints. I'm looking for festoon lighting to go hang between the two sheds to make it more of an ambience, potentially some more paint. Again, that's not this specific request, so hopefully a further vision, flags up and down the main street, your LED sort of signs, branding it kind of American Nashville will all help the locals buy in. We can get some shops going, etc. I'm waffling on now, sorry. I'm asking, really, at the end of the day, I'm asking for your advocacy and support throughout the year. View any in-kind requests as an investment in the Orange community, as you will support me in developing this thing as a significant event in the region. And as this festival grows, the benefits will not only ripple, but they will make waves across the local economy and culture. It's a ready-made success. One thing I'm certain of is it's going to be huge. I won't let it not be. The only question is, does Orange want it? This is your opportunity to invest in something. Again, it's not tonight, but over time, hopefully you can advocate for the event. As requests do come up over the next 6 months, 12 months, I'm giving it 2 events to then make a decision on what I do with it. I'm giving you an opportunity. Let's work together to make a night in Nashville extraordinary for Orange. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mortimer. Also, speaking item 5.13, event sponsors your application, is Ann Toner from Central West Festival Gold 2025.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of an application for event funding under your Council's Incubator Event Funding Program. This is a pretty exciting moment for Bridge in the Central West and also for Orange. Earlier this year we hosted the Australian National Bridge Championships and demonstrated unequivocally that Orange and the Orange Bridge Club can deliver a national event of high calibre alongside a Central West Festival event. Beginning in 2025, with a licence to conduct a new event through to 2027, we're about to embark on a journey that will show Orange can sustainably deliver an annual Gold Master Pointed event, which we are calling the Central West Festival Gold. Master points are important to bridge players. They are how ranking in the bridge community is determined. Green master points are earned at the club level with club events and club championships. Red master points tend to be inter-club tournaments, special state events and congresses at many levels. And gold master points are much prized amongst bridge players who want to progress in their ranking, because in order to progress, you not only need a quantum of master points, but a blend of red and gold and minimum requirements at each level. And these only apply to national championships and super congresses. So the purpose of our Central West Festival Gold event is to create an opportunity for bridge players in the Central West to earn gold master points without having to travel big distances. It's one of 3 It's now one of 3 Gold Master Point events in New South Wales. We have the Sydney Spring Nationals, which are held in October, and the Coffs Harbour event, which is held in August. So this would be one of 3 in the New South Wales calendar. And it creates opportunities for players and their non-playing captains to spend a little while in Orange and enjoy our local restaurants and wineries and cultural and retail attractions. So our funding application is in support of establishing this new event. We have a licence to run it for 3 years, 25, 6 and 7. We'll be working hard to establish this as an ongoing event if we can. While it is a completely new event, we are drawing fairly extensively on our experience in running the Australian National Congress Championships, and I wanted to particularly thank Orange City Council for their support to do that. We had a lot of support from the staff during the planning phases, and we had financial support, and we also had a lot of in-person support with senior people attending our welcome ceremonies and our celebrations throughout the event, and we very much value that. We plan on repeating the things that worked very well with us for that event. We'll engage and re-engage with the local services and business. We're working with Orange 360, who have helped us with linkages with the business community and in particular accommodation and travel. We've had excellent support from business. Restaurants would, because we were having it over a 2-week period, including Sundays and Mondays when restaurants are not open, Birdie offered to stay open for us for that period of time. We had sponsorship, wine sponsorship with excellent prizes contributed there. Inland Digital helped us enormously with our printing, and we worked with Printflow, Printstorm, Officeworks, Razzle Dazzle around the banners, tickets, brochures and scorebooks that we needed. OrangeX Services has been critical to our success and agreed to provide the venue to us free from room hire charges again in 2025, for which we are extremely grateful. And the Mercure Hotel is also being very supportive with special rates for accommodation and some free rooms for our directing staff. In marketing this event to bridge players, we're dealing mostly with an older demographic with time and financial resources to attend. We have a slogan for the event that we used for the ANC and will continue to use, which was play like legends, live like locals. And we've spent a lot of time giving focus to Orange as a destination. We've also been able to actively market the new event to all the players who came this year to the event, and a recent email to this group read, "Consider making a real break of it and visiting Orange Food Week, which concludes a few days before our event. In between, a day trip to the beautiful Japanese gardens at Kara would get you in the mood for playing some great bridge at this 2025 Central West Festival Gold. We're also promoting it at other Gold Point events. We've done that in Sydney already in October, planning to go to Canberra and the Gold Coast, Canberra in January, Gold Coast in February, through the ABF newsletter that goes out to 33,000 bridge players in Australia. And we have an online brochure with a very strong Live Like Locals segment in addition to all the playing regulations. We're able to measure attendance from and the experiences of people who come to the event because players register through My ABF, the Australian Bridge Federation's software.
Anna, can I just hold you there for a second? I've attention to Councillor McDonald. You're free to keep going now.
Thank you. We have planned for this to be a two-day pairs event followed by a 2 days teams event, which means that most people travelling into Orange will be staying a minimum of 4 nights. I had a look at the entries this morning. They open on the 1st of October. We have already 30% of our capacity filled, so I think it's going to be a very popular event. Just to think about how we drew people to Orange through the ANC, we had just a little under 700 players come and play in that event. 145 of them came from Central West clubs, which is nice for us because I think it's invigorated bridge in the Central West. That was of a subset of the total of 403 from New South Wales. We had 71 from the ACT, 37 from Victoria, 54 from Queensland, 41 from South Australia, 36 from Western Australia, 26 from Tasmania, and for the first time in many years, the Northern Territory sent players, and we had 18 from the Northern Territory, and we also had 3 from New Zealand. So we have a track record. We're aiming to build on that. The evaluations for the event were that 56% of people reported that we exceeded their expectations, and another 41% said that we met their expectations. So that's a pretty nice statistic to have. And anecdotally, we got some excellent feedback from the players about their experience being in Orange, that people were aware that they were there to play bridge and the community was very welcoming for them. So I think our experience gives us a good platform to move forward on a new 4-day event. We won't see the national championships back in New South Wales for another 7 years at least. So thank you for helping to make the 2024 national championships such a success. And we look forward to working in partnership with the Orange City Council as we establish the Central West Festival Gold event in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Councillors, item 5.14, social impact funding grant. Application number 2 is Mr. Andrew Gregg, and he'll be speaking about the Western PTSD support. Mr. Gregg, you have 5 minutes, sir.
G'day. Mayor Miletto, Deputy Mayor, Greenhouse councillors, Orange City Council executive, especially Jen Sharp. How are you? My name is Andrew Gregg. I'm the coordinator and chair of Western PTSD support, and I'd like to take this opportunity to preemptively thank you for your financial support, especially considering we are a relatively unknown organisation in the Orange area. I understand that providing a grant to organisations that have little to no knowledge can come with an element of risk. So thank you for taking a risk on us preemptively. Western PTSD has a history of being a silent service liaising directly with clinicians and attendees only. Recently, we have found ourselves in a position where this needs to change. I'd like to provide a brief history snapshot and projection of Western PTSD for your interest and our benefit. We have a board of not-for-profit veterans and PTSD and group therapy clinical experts. Western PTSD was founded as an adjunctive group therapy and support group for all those living with PTSD in the Orange area in 2019 as a combined effort between Orange RSL and St John of God Richmond Hospital. In 2022, our benefactor changed to the Department of Veterans Affairs, who defunded us in June of this year. The reason we were able to ascertain was that we continued to support the entirety of the PTSD community in the Central West and didn't limit ourselves to veterans only, which is Department of Veterans Affairs remit. It is imperative that we continue to provide our services, and we give big thanks to Lifeline Central West and Legacy for keeping us afloat during this period of time of flux within Western PTSD. But we need to move towards a balance of independence and security. Currently, we provide 2 groups, a partners group and a critical care group. The critical care group is specifically that. It is for those who are not managing. We basically spend our time maintaining our attendees and staving off psychiatric decompensation. What this looks like is an adjunctive group therapy with clinicians always present, social networks to fight isolationism, and one-on-one clinical guidance on comorbidities, of which there are numerous with post-traumatic stress disorder, and psychiatric psychological guidance as so far as when, who and how to access these services, and inpatient guidance. We have a significant number of attendees that regularly require inpatient guidance. We aim at reducing the stress and indignity of treatment for individuals, and these are usually ex-high-functioning individuals, pillars of the community that have spent the last usually several years trying to hide their condition, and the indignity and stress related to raising their hands and informing their loved ones, their children, their co-workers and their employers that there's something so wrong with them that they need to leave for a week or 6 months, they're not sure, is terrifying to them and often leads to isolationism, alcohol and drug abuse, violence and suicide prior to them seeking treatment for themselves. We try to reduce the effects of PTSD on the lives of our attendees and their families, and providing tools to manage PTSD and its numerous comorbidities such as isolationism, alcoholism and so forth in between treatments. Treatment for PTSD is strained in Sydney and basically non-existent in the Central West. The benefits to our community are positive impact on domestic violence, drug and alcohol abuse numbers, lower strain on public and private health care. It fights isolationism, which there's currently the New South Wales Senate is looking into, and we've offered a submission to that ourselves, and it saves lives. Monthly, we save lives, not to be dramatic. Moving forward, we aim to maintain our critical care element. It has to be maintained, the critical care. But we also...
Can I just hold you up there? Can I have expansion? Councillor Peterson, thank you. You're right to go.
Thank you. We plan to extend to therapeutic care as well, which is something you don't often hear in the world of PTSD. So that would be a move towards getting better, which is sort of new turf, unfortunately, in the world of specifically complex PTSD. We would like to provide return to work assistance, couples and family unit assistance, and lived experience mentoring. We would like to expand our clinical facilitator base so that we have clinical facilitators on the ground in the Central West, as opposed to currently what we do is bring them in from Sydney. We would like to create lived experience PTSD peer program and geographically expand, whether that be to Dubbo, Bathurst, Cowra, Mudgee, wherever. We would like to provide facilities for expert clinicians. When you start dealing with PTSD and its comorbidities wrapped up in one, you're talking about a dozen professionals in New South Wales. We would like to provide facilities for them to visit and practice, and further relieve local strain. Eventually, with great assistance from our community, we would like to provide real, workable, accessible awareness and prevention program for industries with a high likelihood of PTSD development, such as corrections, police force, SES, RFS. This is achievable, and our subject matter experts are basing our expansion and similar organisations such as Pro Patria Centre in Wagga, which is a similar organisation that's about 4 years ahead of us with facilities, and St John of God Richmond Hospital, which I would call the benchmark of PTSD therapy and group therapy in New South Wales, if not Australia. In short, we currently provide last line care. Our aim would be to expand this to cure and prevention. I hope you find us a worthy cause and see fit to consider us for further support, whether that be financial, in kind, or expanding our network. Please reach out to us if you know anyone and may be interested in assisting us either on a clinical or a not-for-profit level. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mr. Gregg. Our next speaker on the same grant funding application is Mr. Joel Palmer, and he'll be speaking on DV information events. Mr. Palmer, if you'd like to come up to the elected.
Mayor, Deputy Mayor, councillors, council executive, thank you very much for agreeing to hear me tonight. I'm Joel Palmer. I've been working in the community services for 18 years, 16 years of those serving the Orange community. I'm part of a group called DAPO, which is Domestic Abuse Prevention Orange. In February 2020, Hannah Clark and her 3 children were set on fire by the children's father, Rowan Baxter. This was done just prior to the COVID pandemic, and it sent ripples right through Australia and has brought a lot of attention to domestic violence. In the wake of that tragedy, the family banded together and decided that they wanted to stop women being killed as a result of coercive control. So they created the Hannah Clark Foundation. The Hannah Clark Foundation established a program called Small Steps for Hannah. What they do is they reach out to communities and they teach community members how to identify the warning signs of coercive control. They refer to them as the jigsaw pieces. In 2023, DAPO was launched. So I'll just take a sidestep for a minute. DAPO was launched in 2023 to help the Orange community respond to domestic violence. And it's a community group aimed at sharing information and preventing domestic abuse in Orange and the surrounding towns. It was started when Rosie Batty, whose son was murdered as a result of domestic violence, came to town to speak. Mayor McDonald, Councillor McDonald and myself met at that event and helped launch DAPO. What we're seeking, DAPO is actually looking for a grant of money to bring the Hannah Clark Foundation to Orange and run 4 workshops. What we want to do is we want to have them targeted at different community groups. We want to target a workshop at education, people in childcare, so forth. We want to target one at health workers so that they can help respond better to domestic violence. We want to focus at people in the legal profession, especially considering the systems abuse that goes on through the legal systems. And we also want to open it up to community members. We're looking for $10,000 to bring the Hannah Clark Foundation here to Orange to upskill the community so that they can identify those jigsaw pieces, communicate better to mitigate risk, and ultimately keep women and children safe. Because Michael Jeh, who does the presentation for the Hannah Clark Foundation, says that the only time that we get the full picture of the jigsaw where all the pieces come together is at a wake. The whole idea of this is to avoid getting to that situation. So that's what DAPO is looking for. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Palmer. The council meeting will now resume. Councillors, you have a look at item number 2.1, mirror minutes. There are no mirror minutes. Go to item number 3, confirmation of minutes of the previous meeting. It's item 3.1, minutes of the ordinary meeting held at Orange City Council on the 5th of November 2024. There's a recommendation in front of you, councillors. Can I have somebody move and second the minutes? Councillor Whitten, seconded by Councillor Mallard. Is there any discussion regarding this item? I'll now put the motion, a show of hands for. Any against? Unanimous.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, if I may, I have a matter arising.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. What is that matter arising, please?
So a matter arising in relation to item 6.1, the 2024 Local Government New South Wales Conference. Whilst I usually prefer to keep council debates professional and constructive, I feel compelled to address the sarcastic and dismissive post in relation to this conference by Councillor Peterson on his social media page. Firstly, attending this conference is not a vacation or an indulgence. It's an opportunity for councillors to network, share ideas, learn from experts and peers from across the state. The sessions and events provide insights into sustainable governance, community planning and operational challenges. that we can bring back to benefit our community. Yes, the cost for some of these events can be high. They are not determined by councillors or even local government New South Wales. These fees reflect industry standards for large-scale and catered events with professional speakers and delegates from across the state who specialise in these fields. Suggesting that attending these events demonstrates poor stewardship of ratepayers' money ignores the broader value they bring. Whilst Councillor Peterson is entitled to his opinion, implying those of us who attend these events are not careful with public funds is quite frankly disgusting, unfair, and undermines the effort and commitment we bring to our roles. We are here to grow, learn, and advocate for Orange, and this conference is a platform to do exactly that. Instead of pointing fingers or using social media to diminish the work of other councillors, I encourage all councillors to engage in meaningful discussion and focus on solutions that will bring benefit to our community. I am astounded that after only one term, you seem to know everything there is to know about local government and how to solve all our problems. I am sure you would have attended some medical conferences in your time that you saw benefit you. I, for one, will continue to attend events that provide real value to Orange and its residents, regardless of how they might be misrepresented. We are here to lead and not to tear each other down at every opportunity. After all, the vote was unanimous to attend this conference. I also wanted to express my disappointment that as a council, we could not extend the invitation of a night's accommodation to our former Mayor, Jason Hamling, to accept his 20 years service award in Tamworth. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor.
Mayor, may I say something in response to that?
Up to you. Cool.
Yes, you can. Thank you, Councillor.
Very well. First, can I say my apology to Councillor Greenhow and anybody else who was offended by what I put on the post. I would encourage everyone to please read the post that I put up. I thought I was very specifically, and I'll read it out, expressed my frustration at a particular cost of the conference. And that was the dinner that was $250 a person and the breakfast that was $88 a person. I just said that the caterer would not set prices like that to the general public. We'd pay for it with our own money instead of soon of government's money. There's less scrutiny on the amount. I said in the next paragraph that I did not want this to be a cheap shot at councillors that were there. It's a worthwhile event for networking, and of course you need to go to the functions to speak to people. It's just a shame that because it was government money paying, then of course it seems to be expensive. So I had thought that I had said that as a cost of those particular funds, the $88 breakfast particularly, as opposed to a go at any councillor that chose to attend. However, I can see at least one councillor has obviously been offended by it, and you definitely have my sincere apology. And I don't believe that you go there to waste councillors or council money. I just wish that the prices that were set for some of these things were more in line with what I thought community standards would do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. And just for accuracy purpose, the cost was $230 per person, and the breakfast, my understanding was there was two ladies who attended the Alga breakfast. Not all councillors attended, just for your own information. Thank you very much. Item number 4, notice of motion rescission. There are no matters before us. If we could go to general reports on, which is item number 5, page 17. Item 5.1, state of the city. There's a recommendation on page 17, councillors. Can I have somebody move and second it? Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Ruddy. Is there any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
Thank you. I obviously support the recommendation. I just wanted to reiterate my disappointment that the community engagement survey from October last year being released now, this 1,100-page document, rather than being released before the election, so that community engagement survey results would have been discussed by candidates. Specifically, could I draw attention of my colleagues to page 7 or 49 of the total document, saying that the areas of infrastructure ranked most important with the condition of roads at 96% importance, which unfortunately contrasts with the lowest satisfaction rate with the condition of road surfaces, 6% satisfaction. Other take-homes for me from the community engagement survey was on page 56 or page 14. The most common point of dissatisfaction being a third of residents felt that council spent money on unnecessary projects. On page 15 or 57, the top area of concern was having enough water for the future. And our role, obviously, is to represent the community surveyed in the document. So I foreshadow quoting those numbers frequently over the next few years. I was reminded earlier today by our CEO that the upcoming CSP will give new values, making that year delay of survey release even more inexplicable. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers? There being none, I will put the motion. A show of hands, please. Those for? Unanimous. Councillors, if we can go to item 5.2, annual report 23-24. There's a recommendation on page 59. Can I have somebody move and second the item?
Move it.
Moved by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Is there any discussion on this item? There being none, I'll put the motion. All in favour, show of hands. Any against? No. Unanimous, carried. Thank you. Item 5.3, Council Advocacy Activities, 1 July 2023 through to the 30 June 2024. There's a recommendation on page 61. Can I have somebody move and second the recommendation? Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Power. Is there any discussion on this item? There being none, I'll put the motion. Show of hands, all in favour. Unanimous. Item 5.4, Policy Committees of Council. There's a recommendation on page 69. I'll put, can I have somebody move and second, moved by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor Judge. Before I put it, is there any discussion on this? I'll now ask the CEO as the returning officer to provide us with any nominations of policy committee chairs and elect each committee separately.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will now conduct the elections, so to speak, for the Planning and Development Policy, Employment and Economic Policy.
Sorry, point of order. I don't know that we voted on the motion.
Oh, good point.
Thank you, Councillor.
Sorry.
Yes,
Sorry.
no, you are
Okay.
correct. Thank you. It's been moved by, Mallard and Councillors Mallard and Judge. Show of hands for? Unanimous, and apologise for the oversight. Thank you, Mr. CEO.
Thank you. Okay, so we have planning and development, employment and economic development, infrastructure policy, sport and recreation, environmental I'm reading the wrong one, sorry. EDC, planning and development, ESPC, environmental sustainability, FPC, finance policy, IPC, infrastructure policy, regional and economic development policy committee, RCPC, geez, we're going well, recreation and culture policy, and SPC, services policy committee. Now we're doing this by show of hands. We have nominations that came in from councillors. Of course, you can also nominate from the floor. Those who nominated, I will ask if you'll accept the nomination, and then we'll move forward. What nominations do we please have for the PDC? Councillor McDonald has nominated by form. Would anyone else like to nominate themselves? Councillor McDonald, do you accept that nomination?
Yes.
There being no other nomination, I would congratulate Councillor McDonald for now being the new chair of the PDC. The Environmental Sustainability Policy Committee. Do we have any written nominations? Councillor Mallard has nominated. Do you accept that nomination? You do. Any other nomination for that committee? There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Mallard the chair of the ESPC, continuing his previous role. Congratulations. The Finance Policy Committee, previously chaired by Councillor Duffy. How many written? Councillor Peterson has nominated. Do you accept that nomination, Councillor Peterson?
I do.
Does anyone? Would anyone else like to nominate for that committee? There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Peterson the new chair of the Finance Policy Committee. The Infrastructure Policy Committee is next. Okay. We have a written nomination from Councillor Peterson. Peterson, Councillor, do you accept that?
No, thank you. Finance is my preference.
Right. There being no nominations, I seek nominations from the floor for the.
I'm happy to nominate no one else.
Same
so-
same thing. I'm happy to nominate.
Can we do all the ones?
I'm willing to. I'll come back to it. Have a deep think about it, and I'll come back.
Yeah, I'll nominate Councillor Duffy.
I wonder if I can. You'd have to accept. We'll come back to that one. Regional Economic Development Policy Committee. We have a written nomination from Councillor Miletto. Do we have any? Do you accept that nomination?
Yes, I do.
Are there any other councillors who would wish to nominate for the role? There being no other nominations, I declare the Mayor the new chair of the Regional and Economic Development Policy Committee. The Recreation and Culture Policy Committee, RCPC. Got a ring to it. Do we have any written nomination? Councillor Greenhouse has nominated. Do you accept that nomination, Councillor Greenhouse?
Certainly do. Thank you, Mr. CEO.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations from the floor? There being no other nominations, I declare Councillor Greenhouse the chair of the RCPC. The Services Policy Committee, previously chaired by Councillor McDonald. We have Councillor Peterson and Councillor Ruddy. Councillor Ruddy, do you accept that nomination?
I do.
Councillor Peterson, would you like to?
No, thank you.
You're withdrawing. Are there any other nominations from the floor? There being no other nominations from the floor, I declare Councillor Ruddy the new chair of the SPC Services Policy Committee. Back to the Infrastructure Policy Committee, and having established that, Councillor Duffy would need to be here to accept the nomination. Are there any written nominations? Oh, we've had Councillor Peterson withdraw. We have no nomination afoot. Would any councillor like to nominate from the floor?
I'm happy to nominate, but if anybody else doesn't have a position like one, I would like that to have preference.
There is an alternative. Councillor Witten?
Yeah, I'll nominate.
Yourself? Yep. Yeah. Okay. We've got two, and that's enough to run.
And then I will withdraw.
You're withdrawing. There being one nomination, Councillor Witten, I'd like to congratulate you for being the new chair of the Infrastructure Policy Committee.
How much to pay?
Oh, yes, I should add to the audience, these are all non-paid positions. I'm just scrolling through to the all yours, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, and congratulations to all those councillors who have been elected to those various committees. We go now to item 5.5, Community Committee Framework and Councillor Committee Membership. And there's a recommendation on page 89, councillors. Can I have somebody move the recommendation? Councillor Ruddy, seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Is there any discussion on this item? Councillor Peterson.
Yeah, on page 91, regarding the third community committee, which is the new Major Projects and Infrastructure Committee, it's suggested that the meeting frequency be 6 monthly. However, the chart on page 100 for that committee suggests a meeting frequency of 3 monthly. And I'd like to move the meeting frequency actually be 2nd monthly, hopefully meet the stated purpose of providing quality, particularly timely, community engagement about those major projects.
I might just defer to the CEO for a comment there before we speak about that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councillor Peterson, the frequency is part of the charter, and the charter will be adopted by the committee. So I think at that committee, first committee, you'll determine a chair and a frequency. I hope that happens.
Yes, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? There being none, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for.
Can I just get clarity? Are we voting? We're voting on item 1 effectively.
We're voting in seriatim.
In seriatim. That's number 1.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. You are doing 1 to 6, and that was 1.
Any against? Item is carried. I'll now ask the CEO and returning officer to provide us with any nominations for the community committee chairs and elect each committee separately.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor. I think we need to do number 2 and then number 3. I see what you've done. I think I'll just apologise for slight. Yes, I will now conduct the election, having assumed 1, 2, and 3 are adopted. If that's okay with you. So apologies for 4 as well, making me the returning officer. Councillors, we have numerous committees here, and we've had expressions of interest from, or nominations from, a lot of you, which is really pleasing. And with these committees, we like to have 3 on if we can, but if there's 5, it doesn't matter. If there's 12, it doesn't matter. So that's really pleasing. We'll go, what have you got? Alphabetical. I'm sorry, we're going to go alphabetical, just to confuse you. Please don't confuse me. We will do, I'm now talking about the community committees. The Mayor's just pointed out, I'll do 6 separately, external bodies, so wait for those. Firstly, we do the community committees, and one by one, could you tell me what they are? Ageing and Access, we've got Councillor Peterson, Councillor Kinghorn, Chair, and we now, are there any other nominations for Chair? Because we also have, sorry, Councillor, we also have Councillor Peterson, Kinghorn, Edmund and Ruddy who put their names up for the committee.
Just to clarify, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be here in time for this, I just said I'd like to be on the committees and I'm happy to chair them, but I'm also happy for other people to do it. Just nobody was doing it, so yeah.
Okay. Do you accept that nomination, Councillor Peterson?
I do, and might or another.
Okay. So then we end up, Mr. Mayor, with Councillor Kinghorn, Stedman and Ruddy, together with the Chair, Councillor Peterson, on that. Thank you. Mr. Chair.
If the audience needs a break, you are quite able to do that. There are 24 of these we've got to go through, but it's a matter for yourselves.
Strap in.
Just thought I'd offer the invitation. Thank you.
The second committee is the Airport Committee, and we have Councillor Greenhouse and Councillor McDonald as the 2 councillors who are interested. We need to pick Chair. Councillor Greenhouse, do you accept a nomination as Chair?
I certainly do. Thank you, Mr. CEO.
Councillor McDonald, do you accept a nomination as Chair?
I'm happy just to be on.
Okay. With that withdrawal, I will declare Councillor Greenhouse and Councillor McDonald the members of the committee, with Councillor Greenhouse as Chair. Thank you. Would anyone else like to get on the Airport Committee? It's rather an interesting committee. Meeting Qantas, finding out the results of Rex's latest drama, talking about expansion at the airport.
Chuck me on.
I'll have a go. Councillor Ruddy. Councillor Ruddy, thank you. Felt like an auctioneer. This is the Australia Day Committee, which has only Councillor Power as a person who's nominated themselves. Now, remind me, the chair is.
I thought that I just step in there. I thought that I read somewhere that Deputy Mayor Greenhouse also showed an interest. Is that correct?
Yeah, happy to sit on the committee. I previously have, so I'm happy to sit on it.
Would you like to chair it, Councillor? Or Councillor Power? Would you like to nominate yourself for chair?
Yeah.
Councillor Power's nominated for chair. Councillor Greenhouse, would you like to be chair, or are you happy to be committee?
I'm happy to be committee and let Councillor Power be chair. Thank you, Mr. CEO.
Thank you. Any other takers? Generally on the 26th of January? Okay. I declare the members, Councillor Power and Councillor Greenhouse, with Councillor Power as chair. Thank you. Next one is Bicycle Community Committee. Previously, Councillor Peterson chaired this. This is nominations from Councillor Peterson and Councillor Mallard. Would either of those like to be chair? Councillor Mallard would like to nominate for chair?
Happy not.
You're happy to bow out? Any other councillors want to be on that committee? Okay, I declare the committee to consist of Councillor Peterson and Councillor Mallard, with Councillor Mallard as chair. Council, we now look at the City of Orange Traffic Committee, which, as you know, is a pseudo-legal body, makes some pretty important decisions. We need a chair and a council. We have Councillor Stedman and Ruddy who don't want to be chair, and we, according to the form, and then we have chair nominations from Councillor McDonald and the mayor. Councillor McDonald, did you want to say something, Councillor Ruddy? Okay. Councillor McDonald, did you want to be chair? Nominate for chair?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Councillor Mayor, did you want to be chair?
Yes.
Okay, so we have perhaps our first election by show of hand. Does any other councillor want to be on that committee?
Just a point of order, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor.
I don't know the charter of the traffic committee by heart. Sure,
Any.
Councillor. Who is the chair? Are you confirming? No. Okay, we've got a conflict here. Ms. Constance telling me no. If we're wrong after the fact, I will be sure to apologise and correct the record.
Just when the mayor took up the committee.
Well, okay. We're going to move forward with two nominations, Councillor McDonald and Councillor Mileto. I will now conduct a vote. All those in favour of Councillor Mileto being the chair, would you please raise your hands? And of course, the nominee can vote for themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'll pull out.
I declare the mayor the chair of the traffic committee and councillors. Oh, we need one more member. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Now the traffic committee needs a chair and it needs one more councillor. So now we are left with Councillor McDonald, Councillor Stedman and Councillor Ruddy.
I'm happy to pull out of that.
Allow it?
Or can there only be one more member?
Only one more member. with those,
We really don't.
on a serious note, this is usually a daytime meeting. Once a month, okay. Councillor Stedman, do you accept the nomination?
No, I'm happy to accept that.
So, Councillor Ruddy, are you happy?
I suppose I'll do it, yeah.
So I declare the members of the Orange City Traffic Committee to be the chair, Councillor Mileto, Mayor Mileto, and the other member will be Councillor Ruddy. Thank you. The next committee is the Clifton Grove Community Committee. Councillor Peterson and Kinghorn have expressed an interest to be on it. Councillor Kinghorn again put her name down for chair, so
Fine.
which is fine. Do you accept that nomination? I haven't any other. No, Councillor Peterson, do you wish to nominate? No.
No, enough, chair.
I declare the Clifton Grove Community Committee to include Councillor Peterson and Kinghorn, with Councillor Kinghorn as chair. And no other members? No. Okay. We have village committees for the new councillors: Clifton Grove, Spring Hill, and Lucknow.
See, can I just clarify something for a quorum? Do we need more than one councillor?
No, we don't, and we'll make sure the charters reflect that it'll work.
Thank you.
Good point, though. Community Safety and Crime Prevention Committee, Community Committee. We've got Councillor Greenhouse, Judge, and Stedman who want to be on the committee. We have Councillor Mileto and Councillor Ruddy who put their hands up. Chair. So, Councillor Ruddy, do you accept that?
I do.
And Councillor Mileto, do you accept it?
No, withdraw.
Withdraw. Then the Committee for Crime and Community Safety and Crime is chaired by Councillor Ruddy and includes the Mayor, Councillor Greenhouse, Councillor Judge, and Councillor Stedman. You still want to be on the committee?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to withdraw from the committee, just let me know. Okay. Next one is the Companion Animals Committee. We have one nominee, Councillor Mallard, as chair and also as member. Would anyone else like to be on the most interesting committee? No? Okay, in that case, I declare Councillor Mallard the chair of the committee and the only council rep. Of course, councillors with any of these committees, you can turn up. The next one is the Heritage Community Committee. Councillor Power has asked to be chair and Councillor Mallard has asked to be a member. So are there any other people councillors wishing to be on that? I declare then that the Heritage Committee consists of Councillor Power as chair, Councillor Mallard as a member. Economic Development Community Committee. We have several here. We have Councillor McDonald, Councillor Kinghorn, the Mayor wanting to be, or seeking to be chair, and then Councillor McDonald, Kinghorn, Greenhouse, Judge and Ruddy wanting to be on the. Councillor McDonald, do you accept the nomination?
Yep.
Mr Mayor, do you accept it?
No, withdrawal.
Withdraw there, but you still want to be on the committee?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So then, Councillor Kinghorn, do you accept the nomination to be chair?
Happy.
Okay, so we've got a two councillor race between Councillor McDonald and Councillor Kinghorn. I will now ask for a show of hands. All those in favour of Councillor McDonald being chair of the Economic Development Community Committee, please raise your hand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All those in favour of Councillor Kinghorn being the chair of the committee, please raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we've only got 11 councillors tonight, so I declare Councillor Kinghorn the chair of the committee, and members being Councillor McDonald, Kinghorn, Greenhouse, Judge Ruddy, and the Mayor. Believe me, we're getting. Environmental Sustainability Community Committee. We have Councillor McDonald wishing to join as a member and Councillor Mallard wishing to chair if possible. Do you accept the nomination? Anyone else wish to nominate? In that case, I declare Councillor Mallard the chair and Councillor McDonald a member. Council, this is the Family and Domestic Abuse Community Committee. Councillor McDonald has put her hand up to be chair. In addition, Councillor Greenhouse, Mallard, Steadman and Ruddy wish to be members. Do you accept the nomination, Councillor McDonald? Would any other councillor like to either be chair or join that? There being no other opposition, I will declare Councillor McDonald the chair of the Family and Domestic Abuse Community Committee. Councillors Greenhouse, Mallard, Steadman and Ruddy as members. This is the Floodplain Risk Management Community Committee. It doesn't meet that often. Technically very interesting. We have no council nomination. Now, if I could, Mr Mayor, I'd ask Mr Beakstone and Mr Greenham to let me know if that would be a problem if we don't have a council.
I'm happy to.
Councillor Miletto.
Yeah, Mr. C.
Yep. Sorry.
I'm happy to, Mr. CEO, if you need someone.
Okay. In that case, would you like? Okay, Councillor Greenhouse, thank you very much. We'll make you on that committee as chair. Thank you very much. It does not meet that
Thank
often.
you.
Yeah. Okay. No. Thank you. The Lucknow Community Committee, we have Councillor Peterson, who wants to be a member. What is the aspect? Oh, I see.
Yeah, I put my name down for many to make up numbers, but I want to tap out at 6 or 7 though.
Yeah, okay. So will you keep account of that? We've got Councillor McDonald wanting to be chair. No other chair nominees.
I'd rather not be on that committee.
You'd rather not.
Other ones.
Which would leave Councillor McDonald as the chair and only member of that committee, which we can work with. Yes, we can.
I'm happy to sit on that, Mr. CEO.
Thank you. Councillor Greenhouse will be a member. Next committee is the a new committee, the Major Projects and Infrastructure Community Committee. Councillor Peterson has nominated to be chair. No one else has. Councillor McDonald, Greenhouse, Judge and Ruddy have asked to be members of the committee. Do you accept the nomination?
I do.
You do. No other nominations. I'm going to declare no other councillors wanting to join the committee. Okay, Councillor Peterson is the chair of that committee, the Infrastructure and Major Projects Committee. Councillor McDonald, Greenhouse, Judge and Ruddy are on that committee. The next is the NAIDOC Week Community Committee. Councillor Power has nominated to become chair with Councillor McDonald, Greenhouse and Mallard wishing to join as members. Would anyone else like to nominate as chair or join?
Yeah, can I join that?
Absolutely. Councillor Ruddy. In that case, I declare Councillor Power the chair with Councillor McDonald, Greenhouse, Mallard and Ruddy as the members. With him. The Orange Health Liaison Community Committee. Okay, so we have Councillor, this is the chair, Peterson, McDonald, Kinghorn and Ruddy. Then we have, in addition, we have Councillor Mallard wishing to join as a normal member. So Councillor Peterson will go around the room. Do you accept the nomination to be chair of that?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor McDonald, do you accept?
No, I'm happy to just be on the
Withdraws.
committee.
Councillor Kinghorn
Same.
withdraws. Councillor Ruddy,
I would like to chair.
you would like to chair. Okay, two-horse race, so to speak. Can I please have a show of hands for Councillor Ruddy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will do it. We therefore have a committee, Orange Health Liaison Committee, chaired by Councillor Ruddy, with Councillor Peterson, McDonald, Kinghorn and Mallard on it. The Orange and Cabon Road Safety Community Committee, there's no chair. Do we need 3 members or is that desirable?
Happy to chair that one.
Okay, well, we don't need a chair, sorry.
Oh, we don't need
We've
one.
got Councillor Judge as the only councillor nominated. Do you want to join us?
Yeah, sure, I'll jump
Okay,
on.
so Councillor Ruddy joins as a normal member. So Councillor Judge and Councillor Ruddy are the membership. This is the Orange Showground Community Committee, and we need a chair plus 3. So far, we have Councillor Kinghorn nominating to be chair, Councillor Peterson and Councillor Greenhouse wishing to join as members. Any other nomination? Otherwise, I declare Councillor Kinghorn. Do you accept that?
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. As the chair, and Councillor Peterson and Greenhouse will join the team.
I'm happy to.
And Councillor Mallard joins the team. Councillor Peterson, I'm staring at an asterisk. You want to stay on that one?
Oh, look, if we've got 2 others, then I'll
That's
allow that one. No, thank you.
This one is the Park Streets Waterways Community Committee. Chair nominations, Councillor McDonald, and member nomination by Councillor Mallard. Anyone else like to join? Okay, in that case, I declare Councillor McDonald the chair of that committee and Councillor Mallard a member, an ordinary member. Councillor, this is the Sister Cities Community Committee with 1 volunteer, Councillor Peterson as a member with an asterisk. So we will need a chair. Councillor Peterson, if you're on that, would you be willing to chair it?
Yes, is my final.
Councillor Laws, anyone else wish to join? In that case, Councillor Peterson is the chair and sole member. Of course, if Councillor Duffy gets in touch after the meeting, we can add him to any of the committee. That's the only councillor. Sport and Recreation Community Committee, we have a chair nomination from Councillor Greenhouse. Do you accept that chair nomination?
Certainly do. Thank you, Mr. CEO.
And in addition to that, we've got Councillor McDonald, Peterson. No, Councillor Peterson, you're dropping out. We have Councillor McDonald, Power, Councillor Judge, and Councillor Steadman. Do you all still want to be on that committee?
As normal.
Yeah, as normal. So I declare Councillor Greenhouse the chair and Councillors McDonald, Power, Judge, and Steadman as the other members. The next one is the Spring Hill Community Committee. Councillor Peterson, I'm assuming you're withdrawing. And we then have 2 nominations, Councillor Miletto, the Mayor, and Councillor Ruddy as the 2. Anyone else wish to go on the Spring Hill Committee?
I'm happy to sit on it.
On it. A normal member, Councillor McDonald. We've got 2 chair nominations. Councillor Ruddy, do you accept that? Councillor Miletto?
Oh,
Withdraw. You want to be on it? Normal?
yeah.
Okay. So we have Councillor Ruddy as the new chair of the Spring Hill Community, and we have Councillor McDonald and the Mayor accompanying you. Tidy Towns Community Committee. We have only now Councillor Ruddy. Councillor Peterson assumed withdrawal. If anyone else like to be on that committee, we may pick up Councillor Duffy, who was the previous chair, I note. Would you like to be chair of that?
If Councillor Duffy doesn't want to chair it, I will
How
chair
will
it.
we
But if
determine
there's
that? So if it's okay with council, I'll ask the question. Okay, so the Mayor is willing to chair it.
Don't mind.
Okay, we'll accept that chair nomination. Any other nomination? Okay. So then we would end up with the Mayor chairing it with Councillor Ruddy as the ordinary member. So then that being the community committees, just letting you know, item number 5, you need to just vote on that, Mr. Chair, and then I will then run number 6 for you. So if you could get a vote on number 5, please.
Thank you. There's recommendation 0.5 councillors there. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Is there any discussion with regards to that item? Being none, I'll put the motion. Show of hands, all 4.
All four, and we'll conduct that immediately.
Unanimous.
With a view, Mr. Chair, to having a, getting into those committees as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 6, I will then take over as previously instructed. And we have the Orange Rail Action Group. What's the status there? We've got Councillor Kinghorn and Councillor Power who wish to be on it. There's no limit in terms of the councillor numbers. Any other councillors wish to?
Can I just ask a question? Is that something that I can attend without being?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can attend any community committee without being on it. Okay. Do we need a chair for that?
No, Peter Blink chairs.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So I declare Councillor Kinghorn and Councillor Power as members of our reps on ORAG, which is, thank you. We've got the Joint Regional Planning Panel. Now, Councillor Whitten has experience in this. We need 2 members, a primary and a secondary. The councillors will recall when big DAs go up to the planning panel, council gets a rep on it. Councillor Whitten has sat on it before. Councillor
Generally, yeah.
Planning committees often. That's correct. But do I have any nominations? I need a primary member.
Well, if it's usually if no one else wants to do it, it's usually the chair of the planning.
Okay, so we have Councillor McDonald, who'll be the primary member. Anyone like to be a seconder? Councillor Power. Okay. It would be rare for the second to get a call up. Thank you. Okay, Councillor McDonald, Councillor Power, thank you. The next one is the Orange 360, the Business Orange. Oh no, sorry, my mea culpa. Business Orange, Orange Business Chamber. We need 1 member. We have Councillor Ruddy has already nominated, no one else.
Orange 360?
No, this is the chamber, business chamber. So in that case, any other nominations? I declare Councillor Ruddy to be our rep. The TDO, which is the Tourism Destination Organisation, or AKA Orange 360, has by default the mayor on it and the CEO on it from Orange City Council, whereas Blaney and Cabon get 1 rep, them each. So we are after a single councillor to add to the mayor and myself. Do I have anyone? I have Councillor.
I'm happy to do that, Mr. CEO.
Okay, so we've got Councillor Greenhouse, McDonald, and Power having nominated. Councillor.
I'm happy.
Okay, Councillor McDonald's out. Councillor Peterson is assumed out. So it's between Councillor Power and Councillor Greenhouse. Do you accept the nomination? Councillor Power and Councillor Greenhouse, you obviously accept that nomination.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy to step out if Councillor Power wants to take it.
Okay. Very good. Yep. So Councillor Power, thank you, becomes the 360 rep. Civic Risk Mutual, I don't know much about this one. This is obviously this is our mutual insurer, but we need 1 councillor, is that right? We missed this on the list. So would anyone like to be as a council rep on Civic Risk Mutual together with Jen Director Sharp?
I've got experience. I'm happy to do it.
The mayor will put his hand up for that. Anyone else wish to put their hand up? I mean, of course, after a year, you could change.
If somebody else wants to do it, I'm happy with it. Do it.
Okay. At the moment, the mayor will be that rep, and that's the case. Thank you. The Central West New South Wales Joint Organisation. We have the mayor by default, but we need a councillor alternate should he not be able to make it. Deputy mayor might wish to consider that. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
You've nominated
that. Thank you.
Sorry, you've nominated.
Yes.
Do we have any other nominees? Because otherwise I'll declare Councillor Greenhouse the Deputy Mayor, the Central West JO alternate. And thank you, Mr. Mayor. That's it. Thank you very much, councillors, for your patience.
Thank you, Mr. CEO, and congratulations to all councillors for assuming positions on those committees. Councillors, if we go to item 5.6, amendment of planning proposal, 277 Cargo Road. There's a recommendation on page 149. Do I have a mover and a seconder?
Sorry, can I just, I wasn't here, so I wasn't able to clear an interest, but I've got a...
Thank you.
I read it out. I read it out
Did
for
you?
you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So that's 5.6. That's the only one I can see. Okay, can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Rady, seconded by Councillor Judge. Is there any discussion, councillors? Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question through you, probably to the Director. I was just wondering if he's able to address any of the questions or suggestions made by the Speaker in open forum.
Which ones in particular, Councillor?
Especially regarding Bowman. Was it Bowman?
Yes, Bowman
Yeah.
Drive.
Yeah. And
Avenue.
Avenue and the possibility of it becoming just a service. I'm assuming.
Certainly that's a possibility. What's in front of council at the moment is a planning proposal for stage 1 only. That's the only land that the developer has ownership of at this point in time. But as part of their planning proposal, they show a broader proposal of what could be across that land. So if you turn to page 149, there's a map there that shows the stage 1 area. So that doesn't connect to Bowman at this stage. Part of that, because it's more than 30 lots, I think it's about 72 lots. Okay, just over 100 lots with the increase in density. There will need to be a secondary access for emergency services into that land. So they do propose a secondary access back onto Cargo Road for emergency access only, because there is no other public road fronting that stage 1 development area. So the condition of the type of intersection treatment that's proposed is determined with the assistance of Transport for New South Wales. So what comes in for stage 1 might be different to what gets developed finally with the full development area. If you look at the map on page 149, again, councillors, stage 1 is that area in the top right-hand corner, and the rest of it is listed as the Whitten Place candidate area. That is not part of the current planning proposal, but is included for completeness. Thank you.
Any further discussion, councillors? Councillor Peterson?
I support the recommendation, just with the following points and one question. Of page 165, it was the preference of Transport New South Wales for the estate to be accessed via those local roads, Whitten Place and Bowman Avenue. And yes, we'd have had feedback from Mr. Toner and others about increased traffic flow, and I'd like the hypothesised Cargo Road entry point to be something we push for. I also note with happiness on page 206 that the diversity of housing needs to be a priority for the developments. My question was on page 232, which says that council has specifically rejected the opportunity for the Canade area to provide vehicle connection to Neils Lane. And I was presuming initially this referred to our cousins in the Cabonne Council, because I don't recall discussing or rejecting that specifically. And I also wanted to know the relationship between this resolution and DA 480/2024, because other councillors in the previous council were contacted by others concerned about that DA, and I know myself and one other councillor at least responded to them, have had correspondence. I wanted to know if they have a chance to be consulted and give their views on that DA, or if that DA was indeed all done in caretaker mode through the planning, and there's nothing we can contribute to that any further.
Mr. Hodges.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I'll start, and then I may well defer to my engineering colleagues. But firstly, in relation to Neils Lane, yes, it hasn't come to this council before. It was part of the housing strategy which was adopted in the council before last. So that lane is our lane. It's right on our boundary. It's the unsealed road on the western side. Its intersection is on a funny angle with Cargo Road, and sight lines are different. So we don't say never, but we look at what is the best intersections at the time for where we are. We've been dealing it for probably 2 years now with the Transport for New South Wales to determine the best intersection. which they're in favour of that one that is identified in this document, which is back on the eastern side of that subdivision. Into the future, we'll continue to look at, as part of any further stage planning proposal, there need to be further traffic studies that are done as it goes through and the density increases in that area. So we'll consider all the access points, whether they're internal or external, onto that state road or main road. And that's probably about it for the moment. So we're just looking at stage one, certainly more studies to come in later on. But the housing strategy did flag that Neils was not a high preference for it. In relation to the question about so this is a seniors living unit development that was lodged with council there probably earlier in the year. It was determined by the Western Region Planning Panel, so not council. I think we might have sent an email out just of the summary after the resolution or the determination by that body. So it wasn't an application by virtue of its value. So it was above, I think the number was above $30 million, triggers by a state environmental planning policy that our council is not the determining authority. So the state panel with its members determined it probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think it might have been. It was before the council had reformed again. But that's normal business. It provided a deferred commencement, so there's things in relation to some social matters and bushfire planning and one other thing they've got to satisfy before they get an active consent. So there's still a few hurdles for that developer to move on. But that application itself was certainly advertised widely to the community, and there were 22 submissions put in that went before that planning panel to review and consider at the time. To your question, Councillor.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any further discussion? There being none, I'll put the motion. All in favour, show of hands, please.
Everyone?
Unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to the next item, item 5.7. Let's wait for Councillor Kinghorn.
Councillor Greenhouse declared an interest on this matter. So if I could ask you to turn your... Are you staying, Councillor Greenhouse, or just turning your machine?
Mr. CEO, I'm happy to vote on this one. It's the other one I won't vote on.
Sorry, thank you. My mistake.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor's item 5.7, Orange Aquatic Centre, the 25-metre pool hall maintenance. There's a recommendation on page 795. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Ruddy. Is there any discussion?
Mr Mayor, I interject for once.
Certainly can.
Councillor Greenhouse, I think you declared on this item, was it to do with painting of the pool? Did you not mean to declare on this item?
Yeah, I declared on this one, but it was non-significant. I thought we discussed would be okay to vote on this one. I'm happy to leave.
Sorry, no, sorry. My mistake again. Thank you. Sorry, Mr Chair. Continue, please.
Thank you.
Just wanted to clarify.
Thank you. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll now put the motion, show of hands. For?
Yep.
Any against? Unanimous, carried. Item 5.8, this is the Welcome to Summer Orange Aquatic Centre. There's a recommendation on page 797. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Mullard, seconded by Councillor Judge. Any discussion, councillors? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion, show of hands for. Any against? No. Unanimous, carried. This is the one, 5.9. There are no...
Sorry.
That's okay. Item 5.9, Hockey Centre renovation, loan guarantee. Council, is a recommendation on page 799. Can I have somebody move and second the item? Moved by,
Happy to move.
moved by Councillor Greenhouse, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Any discussion? There being no discussion.
Sorry.
Councillor Peterson.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Councillor
sorry.
Peterson.
I wanted to ask, and I'm grateful for the email from the relevant director, just whether we would, what the precedent of being a guarantor for a loan has been done for previous projects like this before.
Mr. Morner or the CEO?
I'll defer to Mr. Morner, who looks like he's got an answer.
I was just checking because I thought it might have been a finance matter, not in my directorate, Mr. CEO.
Thank you, Mr. Morner.
Through you, Mr. Chair. We've had a number of precedents, councillor. So Orange Hockey Incorporated have in fact had a loan before the council has guaranteed, which they repaid in full, obviously. We've done it for Emu's Rugby Club as well, where we've supported a loan application. So the liability obviously falls to council if they default on their loan. Is the only time where we have to meet the obligation. There's no indication that this would occur in this circumstance. It could happen. It's a 10-year loan. It's hard to predict into the future. I think the underlying matter here is that it is a council asset fundamentally and a community asset, and the grounds are in need of an upgrade. So were the worst to happen and the club defaulted and folded, then the whilst council would be liable for the balance of the loan at that point in time, the asset would remain with council, of course.
Thank you, Councillor Kinghorn.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just had a query about it because the estimated cost of the total was 1.65 million. Back in June, when we approved the 200,000 grant, the estimate total was 1.4 million. So that's 250,000 difference in 5 months. So I'm just curious about what happens if it's going to keep going up by that much in a short time.
Sorry.
What happens then? That impact on this?
My understanding, councillor, is that was pre the finalisation of the costs for the project, which has now been locked in and the contractor has been engaged. So they've finalised them. You see it from time to time with projects where costs increase from an estimate to an actual. That was this circumstance. So I'm satisfied that that's the cost of the development with some contingency included.
Any further discussions? There being none, I will put...
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, if I could.
Yes.
I'm definitely speaking in support of this motion. I think these guys lead the way in terms of fundraising efforts, and I think they should be praised. You can see the sustainable development that they've done to recycle all those things. So I think it's a very worthy cause, and I think the benefits far outweigh the risks in this occasion. So I thank them for their efforts, and I look forward to seeing the project completed.
Thank you, Councillor. There being no further discussion, I'll put the motion to show of hands for. Unanimous. Councillors, we can go to item 5.10, Quarterly Budget Review and Progress Report, Order 1 of 24-25. The recommendation on page 807. Can I have somebody move and second the recommendation? Moved by Councillor Mullard, second by Councillor Kinghorn. Is there any discussion on this item? Councillor Peterson.
Thank you. Yes, comments and a question. I suppose the comment is to just highlight that our general fund deficit now $545,000, which was worse than what our budgeted deficit of $186,000 for the budget on the 18th of June. The question was relying on the unrestricted funds. That was the sort of money that we don't really have commitments for, and it was 9.2 million at the start of the previous council, and I had thought it was budgeted at 3.5 million from this budget. On page 830, it seems to say the unrestricted cash reserves was down to 2.5 million, but correspondence today was actually, it is about 3.5 million. Just wanted to clarify what that figure on page 830 was.
Mr. CEO.
Yeah, Thank you, Councillor Peterson, for the question, and what you say is correct. Just to point out, the first quarter review is always difficult. Just to explain, when we finish last year's budget, this quarter has to deal with any projects carried forward over the line. That's one matter. When we carry forward projects, we then have to rejig our project program and delivery. So this occurs during the first quarter. Also, the audit of last year's results hasn't finished yet. In fact, we're right in the middle of it, and that's why our acting CFO is not here. So my point is that the first quarter can often be a lot of movements on timing. So I look forward to the second quarter, when around Christmas, when those numbers start to really settle once the audit's done and projects are programmed. Thanks for the question.
You have another question, Councillor?
I just want to ask that number on page 830 that says unrestricted cash of 2.5 million. Is that, or what does that refer to?
That refers to unrestricted cash at that moment in time. But we haven't finished last year's audit. So, I'm pointing out it's a rubbery number at the moment, but it's certainly that or more.
Councillor Kinghorn.
Oh, thank you, Mr Mayor. Just on page 808, operating expenditure, the operational expenditures increased by $4 million, mainly due to carry forward projects and costs associated with new operations. What are the costs associated with operations?
So again, as we get new grants and as we get carry forwards bedded in, so if a grant comes in, if a grant comes in, we get money, say for operational grants, that actually pay for activities. When we get that money in, we won't do other things because we're getting paid by another source. So we're not using our own source on that. Same with capital. When we carry forward projects that say weren't completed, we bump capital into the new financial year. What we have to do in this quarter is then rearrange our work programs for the rest of the financial year to account for those new grants or for the carry forward. I hope that makes some sense. At the end of this quarter, around Christmas, we will know our full program and we will be able to give you pretty much the number we sit on for the next 3 quarters. I'm not saying we're being inaccurate. I'm saying the issue is one of timing.
I had 832. I was just curious about $750,000 for provision of water metering. How are we going with the installation of smart meters? Because presumably once we've got those, that won't cost outside of water meters.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I will either ask Mr. Green to provide an answer or take it on notice. Take it on notice? We'll take it on notice and get an answer. It's a point. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other speakers? There being other speakers, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Thank you. We'll now move to item 5.11, Statement of Investments, August, September, October 2024. Council's recommendation on page 835. Can I have someone move and second the motion? Moved by Councillor Roddy, seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Do we have any speakers? There being none, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Item 5.12. Councillors, there's a recommendation on page 903 that these be heard and voted on in Serianan. I noticed that there are some conflicts of interest at various points. I'm just having a look at those. Councillor Greenedge, you've got one at number 6. But obviously quite welcome to stay in the room. Okay. Can I have somebody move and second by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor McDonald? Yes. Yeah, we need to put the motion. A show of hands, all four. Unanimous? Okay. We're going to go through them individually, starting by number 1. You want me to go through them?
Yeah, up to you.
Okay, number 1, to donate $500 to Orange High School for Year 12 annual prize giving.
Mover in a second.
Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by Councillor Whitten. Any discussion? There being none, show of hands, 4. Unanimous. Item number 2, to donate $2,500 to Orange Community Broadcast Limited to assist with the running cost. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Ruddy, seconded by Councillor Peterson. Is there any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
Only to say I'm interested to apply for one of the directors that Cabon and Blaney councils completed last financial year as well.
Thank you. Councillor Kinghorn.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just curious. I'm sure when I look at this on page 905, it says that it hasn't previously been funded by council, but I'm sure we've given these guys money before. So what was that for?
Director Sharp.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that section of the report refers to being funded through this particular donation program, of which they haven't. The money that they've received in the past was a request from Blaney Shire Council to go an equal split on their public liability insurance between the 3 councils, of which we agreed to.
Any further discussion on that item, councillors? That being the case, I'll put the motion and show of hands for. Unanimous. Number 3, to donate $2,500 to the Road Safety Education Limited to contribute to the cost associated with providing Orange LGA 2025 RYDA program. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Power. Any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
I just noticed they requested 2 different sums in the document, so I'm proposing and moving that we would give the category maximum. I believe in their paperwork, the handwritten paperwork file, they're requesting category maximum.
Just point of the motion is to donate $2,500.
Which is consistent with what I've received. So that being the case, I'll have somebody move and second it. Moved by, sorry? My apologies. Any further discussion? There being none, I'll move the motion. A show of hands for. Unanimous, carried. Item number 4, to donate $890 to the Australian National Street Machines to contribute to the cost of hiring grounds for 2 days for a car swap meet event. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Ruddy, seconded by Councillor Steadman. Any discussion? Councillor Kinghorn.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just curious, in the paperwork that they've actually filled out, where it says the cost of funding, it's $500, $300, which is $800, and they've requested $890. And I know it's not that different, but I propose we change it now, $800, what their costs are. So
before we do that, I might just ask for an explanation, clarification from the Director.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. My understanding is that the person who's filled out the form is not so proficient with filling out forms, and in speaking with him, the money that they're requesting is actually to pay for the hiring of the showground, of which they have booked. That would be in excess of the $890 that they have requested, but they've done it on an estimate based on what they think it would be. $411 per day for one area and $222 for a second area would be well in excess of the $890 that they're requesting.
Satisfied the explanation, Councillor?
Thank you.
Okay, I'll put the motion. Show of hands, all for. Unanimous. Number 5, to donate $2,500 to the Orange Runners Club to contribute to the cost of the Orange Running Festival, enabling them to maintain a low registration fee for the shorter running events.
Happy to move that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I have a seconder. Councillor Peterson. Any discussion? There being none, I'll put the motion, a show of hands. Unanimous. Item number 6, and I think you've got a conflict here, have you, Councillor Greenhalgh? Is it that one?
I certainly have. Can they put me in the waiting room?
If you just turn your camera off, that would be enough, and stay on mute, please.
Off camera.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She's not voting anyway.
Move the motion.
We've got a mover, but a seconder. Councillor Power. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion, a show of hands, please. Unanimous. Councillor Greenhalgh, you can come back into the meeting if you like.
Councillor Greenhalgh.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Item number 6, to donate $2,000 to the Orange 8-Day Games, King and Queen of Sport, to contribute to the cost.
Oh, no, just did that. We're doing 7, sir.
Sorry, my apologies.
7.
Number 7, to donate $2,500 to the Orange Bush Nippers to contribute to the cost associated with running of the club. I'm happy to move this one. Can I have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Whitten. Any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
Only to point out, similar to the previous one, that we add up the sums on page 944, comes to 2,250. Again, small change. I suppose I'd move that it is 2,250 unless there's a other info about where the extra money was from.
Yeah. There's nothing from the director, so Councillor Peterson has moved a motion to change that amount to 2,250.
It's an amendment.
It's an amendment.
Seconder.
A seconder for the amendment. There being none, the amendment's lost. So the motion is as is. Can I have a show of hands? I'll put the motion, a show of hands for. Unanimous. Item number 8, to donate $2,000 to the Midwest Budgerigard Club to contribute to the cost of prizes for the National Budgerigard Show. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Happy to move it, Mayor.
Moved by Councillor Whitten, seconded by Councillor Ruddy. Any discussion? Councillor Kinghorn.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just this has already been on, and I know we've had an election and we haven't had meetings and that sort of stuff. But it looks like the application wasn't put in until the 6th of October. And I note on their spiel that says no late entries will be accepted. Of people putting birds in to be judged, and that was ironic. And I don't just on that basis happen. So.
I might ask for a comment from the director. Thank you, Director Sharp.
So if the council would like us to, we can not accept those. In normal circumstances, we wouldn't accept a application for a retrospective application. That is part of the policy. I did allow an exception in this case because of the fact that the council was in caretaker mode and we did not process any during that period.
So they put the application in, we just didn't process it until the 16th of October.
I would have to go back and have a look at the dates on that, but I believe that we did put up all that we had available at the last possible time before we went, but I would have to go and have a look at the dates.
Can I suggest that we defer this one rather than... Can I move a motion that we defer, or do we have to deal with Councillor Kinghorn first?
This was a comment.
Deal with the motion.
Ooh, good luck with that.
Deal with the motion.
Okay, Councillor Kinghorn, you've made an amendment. Do I have a seconder for the amendment? Councillor Judge. Okay, so we have an amendment. Can we read the amendment?
The amendment is from Councillor Maletta that that number 8 of this item be deferred to the next council. Sorry, for the purpose of gaining more information. Okay with that?
Yeah.
Ready? Yep.
Put the amendment. Show of hands all for.
The amendment. 1, 2, 3. Hands up, Steve. Looks like 10 out of 11 for the amendment, which now becomes the motion.
So I now put the motion. Show of hands for. 10.
Again.
1 against.
1 against.
Thank you, councillors.
Deferred. Got that? Yep.
Item number 9, to donate $2,500 to the Springside Progress Association to contribute to the cost of restoring the schoolhouse hall floors. I'm happy to move this one. Do I have a seconder?
Yep.
By Councillor Whitten. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I show of hands for. Unanimous. Number 10, to donate $2,500 to Friends of Banjo Patterson Park Incorporated to contribute to the cost of holding the poetry competition and history in the park event. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Ruddy. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion. A show of hands for. Unanimous. Thank you. So we now go to item 5.13, applications for event sponsorship. Councillors, there's a recommendation on page 961. Number 1 is that, actually I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by...
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor. Can I just declare a late non-significant, non-pecuniary interest in item 1 for the night in Nashville? I am friends with Tim Mortimer.
But you're still voting, Councillor?
Yeah, I'm happy to still vote, or I'm happy to. No, I'll leave the room if that's okay.
Thank you. So it's moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Is there any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
I want to move, just given that budget is almost exhausted, I move that $3,000 be offered. Oh, yeah, sorry, my...
Is any further discussion? Show of hands, please, for. Unanimous. Noting that Councillor Greenhalgh had left the room. Councillors, we're going to hear these in seriatim. We'll start by number 1.
I'll move the recommendation for 5,000. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy to second that. Any discussion with regards to that item, councillors? Councillor Peterson.
Yes, we were given our budget is almost exhausted. I reluctantly moved 1,000.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
I just ask the night in Nashville.
Sorry, we've got an amendment by Councillor Peterson. Do we have a seconder for the amendment?
The amendment is to reduce it to $3,000 for my notes. Correct.
Okay, we don't have a seconder, so the amendment is lost. Do we have any other speakers for the motion?
Speaking for it.
Yes, Councillor Whitten.
Look, Mr. Mayor, I think these types of events that are put on privately by entrepreneurs, as Mr. Mortimer said earlier tonight, if the entrepreneurs in any environment, and we'll talk about Orange, don't take the risk, then we have nothing, right? And certainly us as a council and our city really survives on entrepreneurs taking the risk. And I feel that we as a council and a community should really get behind these events that attract so many people to our communities. We've seen certain events that we've had over the last 18 months or so that have brought many, many people to this community to enjoy where we live. And certainly all of the feedback that I get when I travel is about all of those events that people come to our city for, be it Wine Week, Food Week, or bridge tournaments, which were very well attended last year. So I'm all for this and support it 100%.
Thank you, Councillor Whitney. Are there any other speakers? Councillor Roddy.
Yeah, I just want to speak for it, and I completely agree with Councillor Whitten. I'm in full support of this. I would like to move that we offer them the 10,000 and not the 5. I realise that it's very tight, but I think there's potentially other places, other applications here that maybe we could cut back on a little bit to move for the full 10.
Thank you. That would be an amendment, but can I just bring to your attention that once we exhaust these applications in front of us, there is no more money for the rest of the year. So if you want to move an amendment that we allocate $10,000, some of these are going to have to drop out. Whatever's left.
I think this is good for the community. Can I
Well,
move an amendment?
You can put the amendment if you like. The amendment by Councillor Ruddy to allocate. Just before I ask that, would that fit within the budget anyway?
Director Sharptree.
To you, Mr. Mayor. If we award the recommendation as it stands in the paper, I believe there would be $340 left for the financial year from the total budgeted amount for that fund.
Yeah, sorry, I should have made myself clearer. My question is even if we wanted to approve the amendment, does that allow for $10,000 or is there a set amount that we can allocate?
You can allocate, you can move whatever you choose, but that's the amount. That amount for the total that's in this motion would be the total that's available left plus $340.
Okay, so thank you very much, Director. So just so it's clear that if we approve the increase, well then one of these others or several have to drop out, but it's an amendment in front of us. The amendment is that we allocate 10,000. We've got a mover. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Steadman. I'll put to the vote. All for? Yes, Councillor.
I'm the mover of the motion, right? So I understand, Councillor Ruddy, I agree wholeheartedly with you about the $10,000. And certainly councillors, even though there's an allocated set monetary factor in this part of the budget for events, we as councillors can approve any amount, which is really responsible, right? So, but my advice would be that we go with the 5,000 simple fact that doesn't impact other areas of the event budget. 2, it probably motivates us as a council to get involved to try and get grant funding, right? So what we should do is sort of work really hard to try and help this organisation try and find other monies other than what we have in the budget, just as a suggestion, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying good on you for suggesting it, but that might be an alternative if you lose the motion, the amendment, right?
Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, I'm going to speak against the amendment. I absolutely understand the sentiment, but when we're looking at the paperwork here, it is a for-profit event. We haven't got a zero where it says total income and total expenditure must equal, and it doesn't. It's a for-profit event. $340 is not going to get us much till the end of June next year. So unfortunately, it'd be nice to be able to give them the 10, but I think we need to be careful that we've still got something in kitty the next six plus months. So, yeah, I actually, sorry, I'll vote again.
Any other speakers? I just got a comment. Thank you, Councillor Whitten. You are correct. The question I would have would be to the CEO, is that any further funds which exceed our budget would have to come out of discretionary expenditure? Would you like to care to comment?
Yeah, what I think we do, and we talked about this last year to those old kids, what we will do is play an offset game. So if you vote, and technically you can vote 10 on this and exceed by 5,000. If you do that and we're 5,000 over, Director Sharp and I will go find 5,000 from another place because we've got a budget that's adopted. So then we go next month and we might have the Johnny Cash Festival comes along and wants $20,000 and you decide to do it because you can. We will then tag 20 grand from another program that we won't do. That's the game we'll play. Of course, you can theoretically vote for that, but we've got work to do afterwards. Say, if you don't mind through you, Mr. Chair, the Johnny Cash Festival puts an application in urgently next month. Staff would take the application. Knowing we had to put it in front of you, we would find that other 20 and that would come back in the report. So they're asking for 20. If you vote 20, we will take it from childcare. Probably a very bad example. You see my point. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
That's called lobbying, right? That's called lobbying.
Could the director just refresh my memory how much the applicant initially asked for?
10, I think it was. I just 10. Was it 10? You've got it. Yeah. 10,000, Mr.
And the council staff recommended 5. Any further discussion?
I just want to, raise a point, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mortimer also mentioned the state of the pavilion, electricity, etc. Is there no reason council can't go with Mr. Mortimer, ensure that it meets needs, that we are indeed paying for it, and gift him the use of the hall, etc.
Mr. CEO?
Yes, I met Mr. Mortimer and Mr. Mayor last week, and indeed staff have already started the meetings for the next Nashville concert. So that's one thing. Yes, of course, we'll extend all the help we can. The second point is that we are spending how much money, Director Mortimer, we're spending $200,000 on the roof of that pavilion.
Yep.
So works have begun. But rest assured, we will work with Mr. Mortimer on the little things.
Okay, councillors, any further discussion? There being none, I'll put the amendment by Councillor Rady. All in favour of the amendment?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, is this for the $10,000?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, those against? The amendment is lost. We go back to the motion. Show of hands. 4.
This is for 5.
Yeah. That's
unanimous. Passed. Carried, I should say. Councillor Greenhouse, would you like to come back into the meeting?
There we go.
Councillor Greenhouse.
Hello.
Thank you. Welcome back, Councillor.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now looking at item number 2, sponsorship of $5,000.
Move the recommendation.
Moved by Councillor Whitten, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Are there any discussion on this item? There being none, I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried unanimously. Number 3, sponsor $1,500 to the Orange City Bowling Club for the Golden Eagles Classic from the 23rd to 27th of February 2025. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Happy to move that, Mr.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor.
Move.
Moved by Councillor Whitten, seconded by Councillor Judge. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion and show of hands for. Any against? No, unanimous. Thank you very much. Item number 4, to sponsor $5,500 to Food Week Incorporated to hold the 2025 Orange Food Week event from 28 March to the 6th of April 2025. Moved by Councillor Whitten, seconded by Councillor Power. Any discussion? Councillor Peterson.
Yeah, I support the recommendation only because the budget's exhausted. I think Food Week is probably the flagship tourism event that we have in Orange. So to run out of money and only be able to offer it 5,500 is a real tragedy. I think this probably means we need to have a revision of the budget sponsorship process and the mechanism, and maybe a motion similar to what we did earlier, a motion of mine to have another look at the small donations budget. I think was successful and probably resulted in more funds being available and a better distribution. Just to foreshadow a notice of motion to that effect for the next meeting to review the sponsorship budget further.
Thank you, Councillor. Any further discussion on the item? There being none, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Thank you, councillors. Item 5.14, Social Impact Funding Grant Request for Donations. The recommendation on page 1031.
Point one of that recommendation.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Any discussion? I'll put the motion. A show of hands for. Unanimous. Okay, let's go through them. Number 1, to donate $10,000 to Salvation Army Orange. Got a mover, Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Mallard. Any discussion? There being none. Show of hands, please. I'll put the motion. Show of hands. Unanimous. Number 2, to donate $5,000 to Food Care Orange Incorporated. Could I have a mover and a seconder?
Just a matter of rising.
Yes, Councillor.
Yeah, I'd just like to declare an interest. OCTEC, who I chair, donated $15,000 organisation. I don't see it as a pecuniary interest, but I'd just like to put it on the record that that's been done.
Thank you, Councillor. I'm very generous of you.
Thank
you. We've had a mover and a seconder, did we? No, moved by Councillor, did we? No, moved by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Number 3, yes, got a couple. We've got 3 people leaving the room. 3 councillors.
Quorum?
3, 6.
You can't have 10.
3. I just find that stuff on the side. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay. Councillors, the recommendation is to donate $10,000 to Domestic Abuse Prevention Orange. I'm happy to move that. Do we have a seconder? Seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Any discussion? There be no discussion. I'll put the motion. A show of hands, please. Unanimous. I'll ask you to bring the other councillors back, please.
Item 4, Mr. OCTEC's landlord.
You can.
I'm on the board. I'm the wrong person.
Yeah, we're not discussing planning on getting your opinion.
Okay. You are the landlord of Housing Plus. You are, OCTEC is the landlord, Mr. Mayor, of many places. So I would think,
I agree.
Thank you. Everyone's heard that.
Okay, item number 4, to donate $10,000 to Housing Plus. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, can I just declare a non-pecuniary interest in the fact that I work for Housing?
Not precarious, but significant. Thank you. Would you like to leave the room, councillor?
I don't
Matter
feel I
of
need
yourself.
to, but
No, well, if you don't want it, it's a matter of yourself.
cool.
Okay. So, can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Ruddy, seconded by Councillor McDonald. Any discussion? There being no discussion, I will put the motion. All in favour?
I'll abstain from voting.
Thank you. Could you please note, Councillor Steadman has Abstain from voting. And it's unanimous. Sorry?
I think it might be just of interest. If you abstain from voting, it automatically comes as a negative. It means voting again.
That is correct.
Then I vote for it.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. So we're unanimous.
Yes.
Number 5, to donate $10,000 to Impact Church Orange. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by Councillor Judge. Any discussion on this item? Councillor Power.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just a question to the director. The program itself says it's funded by the church, but I don't see the denomination. Which denomination? It's supported by a church, so that's the denomination. But who is that? I know Dallas knows the program. Just trying to work out who supports it.
You can answer it if you like. If you've got something in front of you that I don't have.
Yes, it's Impact Church Orange is a Pentecostal church in Orange, New South Wales. We are part of ACTS Global Group of Churches in Australia.
So what was that again, Mr. Mayor?
Because I didn't. Impact Church Orange is a.
I've never heard of the denomination. That's all.
Pentecostal.
It means nothing.
Okay, right.
It means nothing, but it was just interesting. Yeah, I just.
That's all we've got.
The information that's in the pack is the information that we have, Councillor.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
I have
Been
nothing
out of the loop
further,
for a while.
unfortunately. You're okay.
My bad. It's all good.
Councillor Wynne.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to declare a community interest on this one. I sit on the board that oversees all of his spaces, and these guys are doing.
Thank you, Councillor. Okay. We've had a mover and a seconder. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, any further discussion? There being no further discussion, I'll put the motion. All in favour, show of hands, please.
The church one still?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, yep.
Unanimous. Can I ask Councillor Whitten to come back, please? Okay, number 7, to donate 11,750.
Six.
Sorry, my apologies. To donate 15,500 to Colour City Rainbow Hub.
Going to move the.
Moving and a seconder, moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Mallard. Any discussion? Councillor Kinghorn.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was just curious about the tent, the quiet space for events, and whether that was because there's talk about those for people who struggle with too much noise or that sort of thing. So it's fine, but would that be available for events that aren't rainbow events? Because it's a lot of money to spend, and I think that it would be good if it.
I'll go to the director, please, first.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, that's not a question that we asked of the applicants. I don't have a response, but I can take it on notice if you wish.
And that was domestic violence related. So from my experience, I believe.
Councillor Kinghorn, are you happy with the response from the
that's
other
fine,
councillor?
thank you.
Okay. We have a mover and seconder. Any further discussion? There being no further discussion, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Thank you. Number 7, and I believe that Councillor Peterson has a conflict of interest here, and he's leaving the room. Slow down, Councillor.
It's a speed limit.
Seven.
Number 7, to donate $11,750 to Western PTSD support. Moved by Councillor Mallard, seconded by Councillor Kinghorn. Any discussion, councillors? There being no discussion, I'll put the motion. A show of hands for. Unanimous, carried. And
Mr. Mayor, I'm going to 9. Youth mental health in there.
thank you. There is no 9, but
there is
number
no
8.
9. Applicant 9.
Orange and District Early Education Program.
Thank
So
you.
number 8.
Noted.
Somebody check his speed as he comes back in.
Hit a speed bump.
Thank you, Councillor Peterson. We can now go to number 8 for your information, and that is to donate $11,750 to the Orange and District Early Education Program Incorporated. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Peterson, seconded by Councillor Ruddy. Any discussion?
I'd like to raise a point, if I may, Mr. Mayor, just on some of these mental health and wellbeing things. It's a beautiful initiative. So there's that. I just wonder where they're getting these people from. Far too many of these organisations, in my opinion, seek outside of our local area when there are heaps of people more than qualified to deliver such things. Certainly, I'd love for there to be a caveat put on some of them. They at least seek local area experts first.
Thank you. Speak about youth in particular, are you? Or
All mental health and wellbeing services, if that is a request of the organisation, or any of it, to be honest. There was another one earlier on floorboards that requires an expert. If we can't find one here first, then we go.
Thank you. And that's a comment, not a question?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion? Councillor Ruddy.
This one says, given the large amount of this request, it's recommended that a portion of the amount be rewarded. Are we having a discussion about a portion, or are we just going for the full?
Director
Item 11.
Sharp.
Page 1031.
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor. The recommendation is the 11,000. What was it? 750. Yeah.
Thank you. So we're going with the recommendation. Any further discussion? There being no further discussion, I'll put the motion. Show of hands for. Unanimous. Thank you, councillors. And do we have somebody out of the room? Councillor Whitten, here he comes. Thank you.
Could I just, before we go on, now that we've wrapped up on those, just I wanted to just comment on the overall process.
Yes, go ahead,
Thanks.
councillor.
Just wanted to thank the staff for facilitating this program. I know I'll acknowledge in particular the former mayor who had his workshop this to lead to this process for the social impact funding grants, which is a one-off thing, which we've hopefully just made a bunch of decisions that are going to make a difference in a number of tangible ways in our local community. But I really appreciate that, we basically council had to design a scheme, execute it, and then the recommendations that have come back clearly, followed all of them. It's made great sense. So I just want to thank the staff for making it all work out. Thank you.
Thank you, and well said, councillor. Councillors, we'll now go to item 5.15, and that's the strategic policy review post-exhibition. There's a recommendation on page 1085. I have a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Peterson. Is there any discussion? There being no discussion, I'll move the motion. A show of hands for, please. Unanimous. Item 5.16, Christmas, New Year recess 24-25. There's a recommendation on page 1089. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Powell, seconded by Councillor Stedman. Is there any discussion on this item? There being none, I'll put the motion. A show of hands for. Unanimous. Item number 6, closed meeting, agenda. The Chief Executive Officer will now advise the Council if any written submissions have been received relating to the item advertised for consideration by a closed meeting of Orange City Council.
I have received no such written submissions.
In accordance with Local Government Act 1993 and the Local Government General Regulation 2021, in the opinion of the Chief Executive Officer, the following business is of kind referred to in section 10A, open brackets 2, close brackets, of the Act and should be dealt with in a confidential session of Council, meeting closed to the press and the public. The following items. 6.1, works in kind agreement for Shirley Road construction fronting lots 1 and A, DP 381935, lot DP 630681 and lot 22 DP 1212446. Item 6.2, proposed lease of 6 Astral Drive. Item 6.3, proposed sale of 6 Astral Drive. 6.4, lease hangar site E, Orange Airport, and 6.5, lease hangar site EE, Orange Airport, are all classified confidential under the provision of section 10A, open brackets 2, close brackets, open brackets C, close brackets, information that would, if disclosed, confer a commercial advantage on a person with whom the Council is conducting or proposes to conduct business. Can I have somebody move and second that we move into closed section of the meeting? Moved by Councillor Kinghorn, seconded by Councillor Ruddy.